High above a war-torn battlefield, a lone fighter ace patrols the silent sky when his warning lights suddenly flare red and 7 enemy fighter planes appear from the clouds like hunting wolves, their engines roaring with deadly intent as the ace realizes he has flown straight into a perfectly planned aerial ambush, outnumbered, outgunned, and with nowhere to run. Yet instead of panic his mind becomes calm, calculating every second, every breath, every movement of his aircraft as enemy tracers slice through the air around him, tearing holes through clouds and forcing him into violent evasive turns. The ace dives, climbs, rolls, and twists while remembering his instructor's words about energy, momentum, and patience, knowing that brute force will fail against 7 enemies, so he begins baiting them, pretending to flee, letting them believe fear has taken control, drawing them closer and closer into a tight pursuit formation, where their confidence grows and discipline weakens, engines pushed to the limit, pilots desperate to claim the kill, unaware that the ace is setting the stage for a maneuver so dangerous and precise that even a moment's mistake would mean instant death. As the enemy fighters close in, guns locking and missiles arming, the ace suddenly does the unthinkable by cutting throttle and pulling his aircraft into a brutal vertical climb, forcing the plane into a near-stall condition where airspeed collapses and gravity takes over, a move no sane pilot would attempt with enemies on his tail. Yet in those 2 frozen seconds the ace exploits the laws of physics, his aircraft hanging in the sky like a falcon pausing before the strike, while the 7 enemy planes overshoot one by one, their speed betraying them as they roar past, unable to react, unable to turn, unable to escape, and in that brief window of chaos the ace reignites power, snaps the nose down, and dives through the broken formation, guns blazing, shredding the first aircraft in flames, then rolling hard to destroy a second and third before the remaining pilots even understand what has happened, panic replacing arrogance as radio calls overlap with screams and warnings, the sky erupting into fire, smoke, and falling metal while the ace becomes a ghost among them, striking, vanishing, reappearing from impossible angles, turning their numerical advantage into a deadly liability. With fuel running low and the sky new filled with wreckage, the remaining enemy pilots attempt to escape, but the ace hunts them methodically, using clouds as cover and sunlight as a weapon, forcing one final dogfight that ends with the last enemy spiraling toward the ground in a trail of smoke, leaving the ace alone once more in the vast silence of the sky, heart pounding, hands trembling, realizing he has survived what should have been impossible, and as he returns to base, the radio crackles with disbelief, his commanders demanding confirmation, ground crews staring in shock at the damage on his aircraft, and intelligence officers replaying combat data again and again, trying to understand how one pilot outturned 7 enemies using nothing but skill, timing, and a 2-second stall, a moment that will be studied for generations, turning a nameless fighter pilot into a legend, an ace whose story proves that in aerial combat, the mind is the deadliest weapon of all.